last week, the Jamaica Teachers Association put the government on notice, because they wanted to improve the wage deal or else. After fresh talks, the Ministry of Finance has now put a 2% increase on the table. This morning, we're joined by the president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, the principal of TIALAS, Mr. Mark Malava, to unpack what this latest offer means. Good morning, sir. Welcome to Smile. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Before we get specific, as the president of the Teachers Association, you guys ready for the restart of school?
We're always ready. Teachers, the teaching profession is really a calling. Our teachers tend to look forward to the new school year. They look forward to, the opportunities. They look forward to meeting the new students, and they look forward to hitting the reset button. Many of the teachers are gearing up. They are ready to step forward, and we are looking forward to the new school year.
Yeah. From what you've heard, from what you know, all schools would have the adequate amount of teachers that they need in all the subject areas and stuff?
Well, today would be the day in which we will get that feedback. I know that the issue of teacher shortage continue to plague the education system. I know that, for example, the Principals Association have really been looking into it. I know, for example, that the key areas, the STEM areas, there is a chronic shortage in that area. Chronic.
Mm-hmm.
Chronic.
Chronic mean plenty.
Yeah, the profession is not attractive to persons. Many of these persons continue to migrate, and whilst the Ministry of Education have indicated a decline year over year, what you're finding is that the climb continues. Okay. So whilst there may be a drop because of the champion effect, it is only going to be temporary. Okay. And unfortunately for me, you don't wait until a storm has hit to batten up. You should batten up before the storm comes. Yep. And I don't believe that the Ministry of Education is taking that approach.
Wow. Well, let's talk about this new wage agreement. First, can you give us a breakdown of what it's all about?
Well, the agreement is what you've been seeing in the public domain. The government has indicated that, we have moved from 0 to 2% in year one and 2.5 in the subsequent years. Where we are now is that the government has indicated a willingness to continue with negotiations, and that's exactly where we are. We are looking forward to continue to negotiate. There are internal processes within the JTA that with different committees. For example, there's a Salaries and Conditions of Service Committee. The matter has to go to the Salaries and Conditions of Service Committee for deliberations, and they will give a formal response to the government.
But whenever it comes in, as a layperson, I said this, why wait until, I would have hoped that this would have been clarified before the start of the new school year, and the teachers would have been going into the classroom, motivated because this was done. And why did it take so long, and why this timing?
Well, that's a matter that's best placed to the Ministry of Finance. We have been ready from last year. We have been ready from November. We would have signed an agreement with the then Minister of Finance, Dr. Nigel Clark, in which there was a commitment to wrap up negotiations by March if we had submitted by November. We did all of that, and when we saw that was coming down to the deadline, we pressed the Ministry of Education of Finance for negotiations to commence. That did not happen, and hence where we are. We have had a total of about 5 meetings with the Ministry of Finance to advance negotiations, and this is where we are. Yep. What I would say though is that we have been pressing the ministry for negotiations and pressing the ministry to improve the offer. And we are where we are. Yep. So the zero is off the table, and it's a start.
I'm glad you went there, because I read, not from you, and I kind of have a feeling you might not want to jump on this one, but I read also when it was at 0 that one of your teachers said, don't bother come with no 2% thing, because we accept that either. Yeah. Yeah. Where are you with that? Again, I know negotiation, and you haven't really said some of your committees will have to look at it.
It's a negotiation. We have our list of claims to the Ministry of Finance was anchored into research. There was it was a very involved process. So we would have reached out to our members and say, what would you like on our list of claims? We got all of that. We anchored it into research. There are various reports that are out there. The Ernst & Young report, I'm actually surprised that the media houses have not, under the access to information, have sought to get the Ernst & Young report. There's the 2021 IDB report on education, and there's the Patterson report. We use all of those to put together our list of claims, because we believe ultimately, based on what is on our list of claims, it will advance the education system. Yeah, we have to find a way to retain our most experienced and valued teachers. There's no education system, no world-class education system that does not pay their teachers a salary that will attract and retain the best and brightest minds that the country has to offer.
But, Mr. President,
and that's the reality.
Like, I can't even tell you my age, and from I know myself, this has been an ongoing discussion, and almost every time this comes up, and Neville's been here long enough, we worked long enough, that why can't we get to an understanding about what you're saying? Why, when will we get to a place where teachers no longer have to keep saying, pay us, pay us,
yeah.
pay us, pay us, pay us?
Here's where I'm at. Maslow's hierarchy of needs come before Bloom's taxonomy. And what that means is that you cannot expect a teacher to be operating at his or her optimal level when his basic needs of food, clothing, and shelter are not being met. Right. The government commissioned a report. That report is known as the Ernst & Young report. What that report says, it values the teachers at a particular level. We are being paid underneath that. And the difference between Band 6 and Band 4, where the trained graduates are, is actually $1.2 million over 1 year. That boils down to $75,000 extra after tax. I'll give you something, I'll tell you something else. For masters, teachers who are in the system with masters, they are paid $4,800 per month. Per month for master's allowance. That's, and just to put it within context, and I say this all the time, our students who are on PATH, they get $5,600 per month for PATH lunches. It would have been better if teachers with master's degree are getting $4,800 per month.
How much should they get, in your view?
When you have a master's, it is deemed that your pedagogy is significantly improved. I believe that that should be anywhere around $50,000 at minimum. $50,000 for minimum. And we're getting $4,800 for masters. And then to put it within context again, if the minimum for a master's per year is perhaps around $500,000. It means, therefore, that a teacher will have to work a minimum of 12 years to begin to even recover their investment. Yeah, by that time, you're near retirement. Yeah, wow. These are the realities. And there's another key component in which I worked at Charlotte Smith, for example, for a number of years. When we were at Charlotte Smith, we used to get what was known as volatility allowance. That is an allowance that is paid to teachers who work in inner city or deep remote areas, because it was used to induce or entice teachers.
But some teachers probably wouldn't want to go.
Yeah, we call them hard to serve schools. Right. The government has grandfathered that. So what that means, for example, is that any teacher that is going down there would not qualify for that allowance. We are saying no. Yeah, it goes against the very grain of what you're trying to do within education. Yeah. And our teachers are hardworking teachers. Just at my inauguration, I presented data to my teachers. Over 95% of our teachers are either between satisfactory and exemplary. And if you take off the satisfactory, 85% of them are at between strong and exemplary in terms of their appraisal. Our teachers are doing remarkable. And what I can also say to you is that the data, when you compare it with Caribbean counterparts, the Caribbean counterparts don't match up. Our teachers are the lowest paid, are amongst the lowest paid in the Caribbean. And guess who are amongst the highest paid? I'll leave that for you to ponder.
Politicians.
Though I said it, not I.
It was a rhetorical question.
Yes, no, I have no problem saying that. We're out of time.
Wow.
With this new offer, when will we find out from the JTA whether you accept or you don't accept? I know it's with the committees, but when will we get
as soon as the committee is duly constituted, we are going through that process as of next week, and within 2 weeks we'll give a formal response to the government.
And finally, Mr. President, what do you want to say to your teachers as school starts this week? Maybe the students also.
Thank you. I want to just...
in that camera.
I want to just remind our teachers that their value is important to the lives of the students that they work with, and I want them to stay energized. I want them to take care of themselves, plan your lessons properly and effectively, and step forward with enthusiasm. Rest assured that the JT is looking out for their best interests, and will continue to press the government for an improved offer.
Thanks for coming, sir.
Thank you.
When does school actually start?
Well, teaching and learning will begin as per the bulletin, September 8th. That's when teaching
is next Monday.
That's when teaching will commence.
Okay, so no school this week as far as...
a lot of what is happening this week is going to be primarily orientation and taking care of housekeeping matters, that sort of thing. So that's where we are.
Thanks for coming, sir.
Thank you much.
President of the Jamaica Teachers Association, former goalkeeper at the University of the West Indies, and principal at Yalasai, Mr. Mark Malava.